Free the Unicorn by Hugh Gilbert. Back of the book. The unicorn of Scotland stands chained to the throne in England's coat of arms. The symbolism is of the chaining of the hidden knowledge within all mankind that, if remembered, will return us to the all-powerful beings that we have forgotten that we are. Every dream of success I had as a child has manifested, and every dream that I denied myself has been denied. Enjoy the proof of this statement and identify how the same pattern has played out for you. Set your sails on the path of true prosperity now, and do not take a lifetime as I have done. The law of attraction, power of positive thinking as presented were deeply flawed. Stop looking for and following the next big thing to come along and realize that you are the next big thing. You can still instantly create the prosperity of everything you require in life, no matter what your age or no matter what your current scenario in life is. Finally and completely recognize and release the lifelong lies which have been imprinted in you. They are the chains imprisoning the unicorn within you and have created your current reality. Protect your children from the lies you have been taught so that they may grow fully into true abundance and magnificence. Follow my story, recognize and relish the proof that there must be a powerful, magical wizard symbolized by society as the unicorn, deep within you and all of us, that you have always known was there, but been afraid to recognize. Introduction. The unicorn is a legendary animal resembling a white horse with a spiraling horn projecting from its forehead. First mentioned by the ancient Greeks, it became the most powerful real or imaginary animal throughout the Middle Ages, commonly described as a symbol of purity and grace, whose magical third eye horn has the power to purify poisoned water and to heal all sickness. Only just over 100 years ago, belief in unicorns existed. I'll start that again. Only just over 100 years ago, belief in unicorns' existence was still widespread among historians, physicians, naturalists, theologians, writers, poets, and alchemists. That's a Google definition. What do you feel when you think of a unicorn? Perhaps childhood thoughts of magic and mystery. For many, a longing that they were once real is common. Now I want you to understand something. The symbolism of this playful magical unicorn is actually feared by those who think they control you. This powerful, healing and gentle creature is seen chained to the throne of England in the royal coats of arms. Lions, eagles, wild boars, etc. are all present and free on heraldic crests, but the unicorn alone is chained. Anything that needs to be chained must be deeply feared indeed. That sparkling magical power of the chained unicorn is indeed inside of you, and the thought that you might remember this is what most terrifies those who would control the world. The lies that bind, taught by society, are the chains. Society has deliberately created a chicken coop for the soul, pun intended. When you recognize this and see through these illusions, the power of the unicorn within you will swiftly return to your awareness, and your prosperity is guaranteed. Prologue. Once, while teaching a workshop in Mexico, my students apologized on behalf of the noisy, all weekend long acting workshop that was being taught next door. That's when it hit me. We don't need acting classes. We have all become highly skilled actors, role-playing automatically in almost every scenario, trying to be whom we are expected to be, depending on the situation, and never quite feeling as though we get it right, hoping we don't get found out. How sad and unbelievable is that? We need not acting classes. We have forgotten how to be ourselves and stand in the full glory of our magnificence. The system has us role-playing from early childhood and rewards us accordingly. Most people still finding it easier to believe the lies we have been fed since childhood are still scratching around in the confines of the mental chicken coop of misinformation which appears to be our reality, rather than challenge the boundaries and finally see them for the illusions they are. What if almost everything we have been taught is a lie? This is not as difficult to comprehend for most of us as it might have been even a few years ago. However, there are so many lies we have been fed that we just don't know where to start to make sense of it all again. The secret is that there is only one lie which has to be uncovered, just one. The rest simply and instantly fall like dominoes once you understand this single truth. We have been taught that the reality we perceive all around us is the truth, plain and simple. So just deal with it as best we can, and we may be rewarded for our efforts. That we have been told is just common sense. We have also been told that science and technology are the only miracles around, and that all glory should be given to its creators. Don't misunderstand me. I truly do admire our scientific genius and thoroughly enjoy the benefits of the miracles of technology each day. The lie that keeps us inside the chicken coop reality is the one that says that only science, technology, governments, schools and churches, all the same thing, all geared to control you, can create miracles, and then makes us dependent on their magical capabilities to feed us, reward us and protect us. It is the lie that tells us there is safety and comfort only in scratching around for a living in the chicken coop, and that dark and powerful predators that we should fear await us should the walls of that chicken coop ever be breached. We are taught that magic and miracles are only for fairy tales and for mythical heroes like Merlin, Gandalf, and a creature like the unicorn. That is the only lie you need to see through. What if the reverse were actually true? Merlin, Gandalf, and the unicorn are real examples of your power. What if miracles and magic are your birthright and in fact are the norm, and that the chicken coop has always been the illusion? What if I can prove it? Remember, this is Hugh Gilbert's work, not mine. Remember this, that those who do not believe in magic will never find it. For those of us who do believe, it's game on. It truly is your choice. This then is a story of how to courageously yet effortlessly embrace the life that you have been waiting for. The stories here will gently liberate you from your fears once and for all. As you read this journey and identify with the parts which resonate with you, you will understand the chains that have bound the unicorn within you, and will acquire the tools to cut them effortlessly. Celebrate the absolute and undisputable proof presented here that miracles and magic for each and every one of you are only a breath away. The ingredients of this healing recipe to create abundance are not actually an autobiography. They are powerful yet compassionate and practical words of normal and wondrous human experience, which connect deeply to everyone. These are the tales of our subconscious self. I'll start that sentence again. These are the tales of our subconscious self-inflicted sabotage, yet our ultimate unavoidable triumph. It is a story that you will instantly recognize as having so many similar parallels to your own. This journey is different, and while it unfolds in a deliberately woven Celtic tapestry of mosaic... This journey is different, and while it unfolds in a deliberately woven Celtic tapestry and mosaic of past, present and future, it is deeply and deliberately impregnated with true stories of magic and miracles, and will at some point bring you to the total acceptance that your past and present are inescapably entwined, finally awakening the ancient awareness deep in your heart. And you will see once and for all that you have been creating magic and miracles at every step of your journey through life. You will finally understand the meaning of free will and its ramifications as you finally unleash the unicorn within you. If you simply allow yourself to connect to the flow of energy in these pages, you will receive the tools to understand your past and change your future instantly, no matter what age or gender you may be, no matter what your social or economic situation. The journey will joyously bounce you from distant past to present, from personal to impersonal, from heart to head and back again. It may well frustrate you a little in odd moments, have you smiling, even laughing at others, yet keeping you open and preventing your focus from becoming too plugged into any one aspect, and from that gentle chaos, allowing the parts that resonate to form in your heart in a sequence that is personal to you and you alone. You will learn to remember the old codes imprinted in your DNA, and will regain the means of allowing your entire system to reactivate or reboot itself into the state of peace, happiness and prosperity, which truly is and always was your birthright. Come to understand how to listen to your heart, which knows that the only thing preventing your prosperity in all things is your resistance. Placed there by society, religions, families and cultures since you were born. They have been called the ties that bind. I would like you to think of them differently from now on. They will be thought of as the lies that bind. See through these truths now, forever to be known as lies, and the world becomes a place of wonder and excitement in every heartbeat as you learn how to trust yourself. and if necessary, forgive yourself for believing the lie of not being good enough or lucky enough to have and to hold true success, happiness and peace of mind and heart. You will simply allow your mind to remember and then live your heart's truth without fear of ridicule or contradiction. I hope most of you will be spared a lifetime of possible turmoil by this story and will reach and teach your children how to continue to see and believe in their truth, no matter how things appear. They taught you to believe it when you see it. From this moment on, you know better and will understand that now you will see it when you believe it. May this book help you create the world of wonder that we all desire, and let it begin today. Why wait? Enjoy the journey. Much love, Hugh Gilbert. I'm just reading, remember. Chapter 1. The law of attraction was, on one level, a deliberate deception. What if the vital global message of the law of attraction was, at the least, a subconscious error of delivery, or was at worst a deliberate and successful conscious attempt to manipulate mankind onto yet another path of confusion and self-doubt? There is no judgment attached to my statement. It is simply an observation. The phrase, the law of attraction, has resonated through the Western world for years now, leaving millions of people confused, frustrated, empty, and even angry as they reject what they feel is just another money-making agenda with no real connection to their personal, spiritual, or physical prosperity. I believe that subconsciously, at least, this was the desired effect of the program. Let me draw you a fascinating parallel. For 2,000 years, or so they tell us, Christianity, in particular the Roman version, has deliberately ingrained your conscious and subconscious beliefs to focus on the symbol of the crucifixion, the Son of God tortured for your sins, blood, dripping, thorns in head, nails through hands and feet, etc., all with the overwhelming message of it being your fault. I remember that when this was first explained to me, I wondered if anyone in the room realized that I was only 3 years old and, as far as I knew, had never been to Jerusalem. But thankfully, I kept that thought to myself, said Hugh Gilbert. Millions of people did and still do venerate this image and hold it to signify the meaning of Christianity, and live a life where pain and suffering are expected and considered penance for the only hope of spiritual salvation firmly placed in the hands of their priests and hierarchies. This control system links hand in hand with the government, who, using the same premise, hold themselves out as knowing better and being our only hope of earthly salvation. How different would this have been if the true ending of the story had been the one delivered to the waiting masses of humanity? How happy would everyone have been if the symbol was the joy of the resurrection and the implication of everlasting life, an event which is freely taught as the actual ending of the story? There's a question mark there. So I should have said, an event which is freely taught as the actual ending to the story. The real message, therefore, has always been carefully hidden in plain sight. Go back to a time when you were first indoctrinated in this tragedy. Imagine you are around 4 years old. How do you feel inside when you focus on a crucifixion and all of its implications? Now give the same attention to the resurrection and the thought of everlasting life. Which one sets you up best for your day, and indeed for your life? Which feeling would you like to strive towards, or simply allow in yourself? Which feeling would you wish for in everyone, for everybody? Which feeling would you strive for everybody? The everlasting life? The message of the everlasting life? The message of the return to life after dying? That's me speaking that, because I've just had an inspired moment. Okay? Or would you rather die as a result of focusing on a man who was first and foremost a massive healer and could wring healing miracles for people and was pinned to a tree or a cross? You know, which would you rather follow? The downward story or the upward story? Okay. The former sets your mind up to be controlled and directed towards salvation. The latter allows you to feel that certainty of ultimate salvation through your heart. So what if the same trick had just been perpetrated again? Here we are in the fullness of a time when humanity is finally moving rapidly towards memories of self-awareness and freedom from the lies that bind. The need for a delaying tactic is paramount for those who are losing control. So just like Christian dogma, what if they decided, let's tell the truth again and once again focus the spotlight a little off center, and so it's possible again. And so it possibly began. The whole law of attraction premise is founded on the need to create the correct vibration within yourself first. Then what you seek is attracted to you automatically. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Hugh. I've always thought that way myself, actually. I agree with this completely. However, the phrase pounded repeatedly into our subconscious and conscious minds is the law of attraction, when in essence it clearly is the law of creation. That is the real secret, and the law of attraction is merely a natural validation of this truth. The second this makes sense, the magic can and will assuredly begin for you. So, to conclude, if the philosophy were all bombarded with had been entitled The Law of Creation, we would all have been home free by now. Before we can attract the right vibration, we have to create it inside of ourselves by consistently imagining how it would feel in your heart, your arms and legs, when your wish comes true. Do this as often as you can daily, and you will begin to see and feel your dreams come true. So let's get it right then. Teach our children globally to remember how to do this for themselves. Here's to the law of creation, the lost phrase now rediscovered. This stark truth also exposes the flaws in the premise of positive thinking. While it can work, it is still putting the cart before the horse in many ways. This formula for success has been extremely frustrating for many people through the last few decades. So again, just shift your understanding a fraction and you have the answer. Before you think it, you have to feel it. Once you feel the vibration of the state you wish to achieve, the thought process follows automatically. Let me end this chapter by incorporating a message of hope for all, but in particular to one specific group of forgotten heroes. The Vietnam veterans are a stunning and unsung group of true survivors of an epic tragedy. I'm not talking about Vietnam veterans here from personal experience here. Remember, this is Hugh Gilbert's words in his book. They are a group who have endured a lifetime of mental, emotional and physical pain from the horrors they endured as young men in Vietnam, and from being ignored and even shunned by their society ever since for a crime that has never been defined. They have found ways to survive, although many lived their lives in isolation and torment. My heart goes out to them. One of the songs which they collectively related to as an anthem is U2's classic hit, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. That one. They know, as do we all, that survival is not enough. They are the world champions of survival. They have been finding ways for 50 years. They want more. They deserve more. They want to live, not just survive. They want to live. That's the point. Their continued struggle in part is because what they are looking for resides inside them and always has. They have forgotten their childlike perfection, and understandably so. I humbly ask them now to add the tool of imagining. Imagine what it would feel like to be free of their memories, their negative emotions and their pain, and how being loved, respected and understood would feel in their hearts and their bodies. This is not the same as longing for peace to appear inside. That would infer that the peace you seek is somewhere out there. Underneath all the layers of pain that has been created in them lies the potential to create a whole new reality, only a dream away, through the law of creation. We must feel the feeling we are trying to achieve throughout our whole being. Then gradually, over time, the feeling starts to hang around and we begin to feel that we begin to feel what we have been looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. So I feel what I'm looking for. And I create what I'm looking for. Okay. I just had a client who spent 15 years in the Black Watch Scottish Regiment and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, had suffered 2 stress-related heart attacks, and whose life has changed on all levels since steadily enforcing the law of creation as outlined above. To all men and women who have suffered trauma and sometimes are haunted by their own actions in these arenas of conflict, beyond the imagining of most of us, this is where the answer lies. I understand completely if many of you reading this are still skeptical of my oversimplification. I humbly ask you to continue to read my story and find how easy it is for you to manifest permanent change in your life, regardless of your situation today. This book is where your individual and collective sovereignty will be found and will never be taken again. Let's face it, for the most part, in some way or another, we all resonate with the message of the same song and still haven't found what we were looking for by focusing on the phrase law of attraction. Regardless of your story and regardless of what you are trying to create in life, I urge you to focus from this moment forward on the law of creation and let your life unfold. Namaste. Thank you.